Hey, good afternoon. This is Mr. Reardon, and I wanted to talk to you about personal finance and how that curriculum is going to roll out this year. This is mainly for those of you who, for whatever reason, are not physically going to be with me in class. Primary example would be you're a running start student and you are going to be doing an independent study. That's kind of case one. Case two would be you're here at College Place High School, maybe taking the class during a different period where you're going to be physically in a different classroom than my own, but I will still be essentially your teacher. Of course, the rest of you, I will see your bright and shining faces every other day during the week. All right? Let's take those of you, though, that particularly that are remote learners or independent learners of the curriculum. You will be given an invite to my Google Classroom site. Once, of course, I find out you're registered for the class and all that good stuff. And then you will be expected to stay current with the curriculum on a weekly basis. I will be updating grades every week. I email progress reports out every week to students and parents. And the one thing, if you've never had me before, the one thing I always say is there should never be a mystery as to what your grade is in the class. So in Google Classroom, which will be the platform, of course, for delivering the curriculum, there is a stream where I sometimes periodically have announcements, different stuff, things you need to be aware of. So if you get something in the stream, make sure you're paying attention to that. And also make sure that you turn off your notifications from Google Classroom. You have to do that on your side. All right. That can be really annoying if you get an email every time I like say put an assignment in Google Classroom. So make sure you turn off your um, announcements in the stream. Okay, that's stream classwork. All right, now of course we're going from a trimester to a semester basis, so there's going to be even more material in the course than there has been in the past. Now I've got like daily screener, teacher contact info, and resources. And one of the things you really want to pay attention to from the get go are all of the different links you need to be aware of. All right. And of course, some of this might be a little bit dated and kind of more focused on distance learning last year, but it's pretty obvious what is an important link for this year and what's not, I would think. And each week, I should have available the learning materials for that week. All right. And again, if you're ever like unsure, like, I don't know what to do, I don't know what I'm doing, whatever, especially if you're an independent learner, the responsibility lays with you to contact me. Don't wait for me to contact you. If you contact me, generally via email or another way, one of the best ways to get a hold of me is through Google Chat. Great way to contact me. If you're not familiar with Google Chat, like I've never done that before, I don't know what I'm doing, please let me know. I can get you hooked up very well. All right. So here I have my week two activities, so on. And again, I'm kind of got to have this loosely scheduled right now. It's not like set in stone. This is what's going to happen. Doing my best with that. But there will be no Zoom. You are not going to connect with my class sessions. You are working independently. And I will have literally hours of YouTube instruction that I have created to walk you through the curriculum. So, for example, we come down here to like week three, where I've got here's a review lesson on webcast on compound interest and the rule of 72 and stuff like that. If you see some sort of review material, that if you're an independent learner, that is instruction that ordinarily I would be giving in class that you need to watch to get that learning. And you may need to take notes while you're watching it because a lot of this information is going to be new to you. Personal finance doesn't come with a lot of prerequisites. So it's very important you carefully review any quote unquote lecture material related to the course. All right. So I want to make sure that's clear. Also, kind of backing up here a little bit into week 1 and week 2, there is going to be a 3 month, actually, should say 10-week simulation that starts very quickly. And is essentially, it is how can I'm going to demonstrate that I can manage a budget, pay bills, manage my money for a simulated person for 10 weeks. That's budget challenge. And I have all kinds of orientation videos and things like that. But this is going to be like 20% of your grade. This is like the big project that we do in class during the semester. And so initially it's I've got to get registered for budget challenge and I need to do what's called vendor selections. All right. And also, again, reach out to me if you're like, hey, I need to do a Zoom session with you, Reardon. I'm not quite grasping this and whatever. Again, the onus or the responsibility is on you to contact me if we need to have like a one-on-one, either in person here in my classroom, or if you're remote, to do a Zoom session to chat about it. Don't be embarrassed about asking me a question or wanting to connect. I realize there's a lot of stuff here maybe you've never seen before. But just know that Budget Challenge, it's coming to a theater near you very quickly. All right. And it's going to start, if I remember right, Budget Challenge is going to start on September 9th. I got to make sure I'm not lying here. All right. Actually, that's a lie. September 23rd. It's going to run September 23rd through December 2nd. And you will register using these codes. And I will also have these in Google Classroom, depending on whether you are first period or third period. Now, if you're an independent learner and you're like doing running start, you're probably going to be a first period student, I'm going to guess. All right. And that's kind of the way the semester is going to roll. And then you're probably asking, well, what happens when we get to like test 1 and insurance? Well, besides me giving you a study guide, what I do, and this sometimes I just have students just get lost with this. You will be taking the test remotely. I need a parent or guardian to proctor or watch that test, watch you take that test to validate independently that you took the test without any supports or notes or anything in front of you. Okay? I will email your parent or guardian a PDF, Adobe PDF file that is the test form. In Google Classroom, you will have a document that is going to be your answer sheet where you will enter your answers electronically into a Google form. It's actually a Google Sheet. All right. I will then get that information once your parent or guardian validates, yes, so and so, my son or daughter took the test. I will then grade your test and give you the results back. I am not going to email you the test form. I will email that to a parent or guardian. All right. So, other than testing and other than budget challenge, the major things that we're going to cover from a standpoint of standards is creating and managing a budget, is budget challenge. All things insurance, understanding risk and insurance, that's another big standard. Then we get into investments, everything about investing, something called 401k, that kind of thing with investments. Then we get into banking, like how does the banking system work and what's a checking account and what's a debit card and what's a credit card and what are different banking products and things like that. That's going to be a fairly brief unit on banking. Then credit, managing my credit and credit cards and overspending and all that kind of stuff. And what is the credit card industry trying to do? That's all about credit. Then finally, we're going to finish off with a couple weeks on income taxes, because a lot of you are going to be filing your own Form 1040, your income tax form, because you're employees. Well, how in the heck do you do that? And why do we even pay income taxes? All right. And so each one of those units is going to end with a unit test. All right. So I got that pretty much laid out there. I should say all those units will have a test except for the taxes unit because there's not going to be enough time to take the exam. Also, another note on tests is I always have a 2 week window after the test results come back to you for you to do a retake if you elect so, or just to simply complete all the formatives or all of the assignments that maybe you might have missed. You have a 2 week window to complete those assignments and or do the retake for that particular unit. That's how I roll. All right. Again, please reach out to me via email, send, or like I said, Google Chat is a great way to get a hold of me. It comes right in. I'm like, bing, I get a little notifier that you want to contact me and discuss something. Okay. One thing about my classes, I don't know what other teachers do. Don't fall behind in my class. Don't get buried because once you get buried, it's really hard to undig yourself. All right. So reach out to me if you ever have questions, you're not understanding something, whatever, especially if you're a remote learner, because there's more responsibility on you to be learning independently. Thank you so much. I look forward to meeting and working with you. The school year is just around the corner. Take care.